Hi, welcome to the Gear Garage. I'm Zach. This is my little internet show about whitewater stuff. And today I want to compare the 16-foot NRS Hypalon boat to the 16-foot Hyside Hypalon boat. And I just did an episode about the boat people should buy. I recommended the 16, and I gave a nod to the Hyside, but these are both great boats, and they're pretty similar. So I want to give both of them a shout out in this episode. I'm a huge fan of the 16-foot category, as you probably know. Because I ran a 16-foot, an Avon Pro, which I really felt was like the ultimate boat, and maybe the best boat ever made. I mean, quite honestly, they were really well-made boats. But when Avon stopped making boats, it left Hypalon up to Hyside and NRS. And Hypalon is a great material for a few reasons. One is it's pretty durable. It's not as durable as urethane, but it's good. But in the field, it's also pretty easy to repair. Like gluing Hypalon isn't a big deal. They're really easy to roll. And so if you need to roll your boats, Hypalon are a great option. If you're not rolling your boats and you're trailering them, then it doesn't matter as much. But for me, I roll boats a lot. I put them in airplanes sometimes. I like boats that are easy to roll. And finally, they don't flip as easy as urethane. They have a little bit of give in them. So when they go into like a big wave or something, they might give instead of flip. But like I said, to me, I learned on the Avon Adventure, or the Avon Pro. And I just think the 16-foot Avons are the ultimate boat. So for now, we have the NRS and the Hyside Hypalon boats. And these two boats are pretty similar. The geometry is almost the same, maybe off an inch here or there. I like both of their geometry. And they both have 22-inch tubes, which is a nice size of a tube for a gear boat like this. The only downside to me of tubes that big is it's harder to get yourself back in the boat. So if you struggle getting back in the boat, that is a consideration. But one of the nice things about tubes that big is that it's harder to wrap. When a boat goes up against a rock and water has to go over the tube to wrap it, it's harder to happen when it has big tubes. So for that reason, I'm a big fan of these big 22-inch tubes. That each of the boats has their pluses and minuses. First of all, the NRS boat, it can handle 4 thwarts. So it has attachments for 4 thwarts, which I think is awesome for being able to put 4 paddlers in a boat. The Hyside only has attachments for 2. And so if you want to run a full paddle boat with 4 thwarts, you're probably going to want to go with the NRS. In terms of D-rings, I think the Hyside definitely has more D-rings and better D-ring placement. I think the NRS's big weakness is its D-ring placement. In particular, if you wrap an NRS and need to pull it off, it's going to be hard to get 2 D-rings for a 2-point anchor the way they had them spaced. And so I would definitely give a nod to the Hyside. But I'd even like to see more D-rings than what the Hyside has, personally. A couple other things are the warranty. The Hyside has a 5-year warranty. The NRS has a 10-year warranty. And I've personally seen the NRS back up their warranty really well. So I have a lot of faith in NRS backing up their warranty. Colors on the web, NRS only shows blue, although I know they can do more colors. I know Hyside has a ton of colors. So if you want some customization in terms of the color of your boat, Hyside's probably the way to go. And then finally, the valve placement. And this one, for some weird reason, is a big deal to me. I really like all my valves on the outside of the bow and the stern. And that way, when the boat's parked up to camp, I can pump 2 valves from one spot without having to, from shore. Now, the back 2 I have to go across the boat for, but I'm still in one spot. When valves are placed all around the boat, kind of like on the Hyside, for me, it's always kind of annoying to move the pump to 4 different places to top that boat off. So I wish the Hyside had better valve placement. The NRS one is perfect. So, but otherwise, yeah, they're pretty similar boats. They're both great boats. A little bit of it depends on the brand you like more or less. The NRS costs a little bit more, and so cost-wise, you're gonna pay more for the NRS. But they're pretty similar. But before I finish this episode, I want to just give a shout out to the Rocky Mountain boat. It's about half the cost, and so if cost is a consideration, consider the Rocky Mountain boat. It has a lot of nice features to it. It's a nice combination of the two. For me, it's just, it's a PVC boat. I've seen some not awesome things happen with PVC boats. I know the longevity isn't there. And again, you can buy 2 of them for buy one that lasts you for 5 years or 8 years, whatever it lasts, and buy a second one. And 2 Rocky Mountain boats will probably last you as long as one of these NRS or Hyside boats. But again, that's kind of wasteful, and it's up to you whether you want to buy something that doesn't last that long. But that Rocky Mountain boat does look sweet, and I definitely want to give it a shout out Although it's not a Hypalon boat, it's still a nice design and worth considering. So those are my thoughts. As always, if you have questions, comments, thoughts, concerns, complaints, anything, leave them in the comment section below. And yeah, see you next time. Thanks.